Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make the viral TikTok honeycomb pasta. In this video, I'm going to be doing mine with a little twist. I'm going to be adding spinach, ricotta, and sausages. To get this recipe started, you're going to want to boil your 16 ounces of rigatoni pasta for 7 minutes or until al dente. Be sure to salt your water and add in a little oil because we don't want any sticky noodles over here. Once your pasta is done cooking, place this in a strainer and then move to the side, and then we'll come back to these noodles later. Okay, next let's cook this meat. So I'm going to add my 1 pound of ground beef to the pan, place this on medium heat, and I'm going to add my garlic powder, seasoning salt, onion powder, Italian seasoning, pepper, and a little bit of adobo. I'm adding about a half a tablespoon to a tablespoon of each seasoning. So after you're done seasoning your meat, you want to let this cook until brown and chop this with your chopper or fork, whatever you have to use, and we're going to chop this until you get the consistency you want. I want mine to be in small pieces so that I can create a small layer on my honeycomb pasta. While your meat is cooking to the side, grab another pan and turn on your eye. We're going to put some butter in the pan and add 2 cups of baby spinach. We're going to cook this until wilted. After all your meat is done cooking and your spinach, we're going to move on to our cheese. So we're going to take our string cheese, and I'm taking 4 packages and unwrapping them, and then I'm going to show you how to cut them so that they fit inside the noodles. So what I'm doing is I'm taking each of the string cheese and I'm cutting them into thirds, and then I'm turning them horizontally and cutting them into thirds again. But if I were to make this recipe again, I think I would have cut them into fourths and then cut them into thirds because they fit better within the noodles. So if you're doing this recipe, cut your cheese first into fourths and then cut them into thirds horizontally, if that makes sense. Because as you can see right here, I'm going to cut them into thirds, but the chunks are still too big to fit in the rigatoni noodles, so I'm cutting them in half again. So yeah, cut them in fourths and then thirds, and they should fit perfectly in the noodles. So now I'm going to show you how to insert them in the noodles. So they should be this size to fit in each noodle. Once your cheese is all cut, take your 9-inch springform pan and we're going to add our tomato, garlic, and onion Ragu sauce to the bottom. Only fill this up so that it covers the surface of the bottom. Okay, now here's the tricky part. So I didn't know what I was doing at first, but then I got the hang of it. So I took 2 to 3 noodles at a time and started placing them on the outside rim. And then I did row by row, and it filled up a lot quicker than I thought. So please don't get discouraged when you see me add all of the 16 ounces noodles in this pan. It's going to take you, promise, like 5 to 7 minutes. We're all done. Okay, now I'm gonna fill in where I see holes. So at the end, check to see if there's any empty spots where you can add the additional noodles. Okay, now here's where my recipe is different from all of the others. So I'm going to take the string cheese that we cut up previously and I'm going to add them in only half of my noodles. The rest of my noodles I'm going to fill with ricotta. And in my next clip, I'll show you how to add the ricotta so that it's easy to fill up each noodle. Now, after half of my noodles are filled with the string cheese, we're going to take 1/4 of a cup of ricotta cheese and add to a sandwich bag. And we're going to add the 4th cup, close it, and then cut off the tip so that we can use this as a piping bag. Now, filling the pasta with ricotta should be super easy and simple. So now I'm going to add the ricotta to half of my dish because all of my family does not like ricotta. So I'm going to add it to half, but I still wanted to show you how to do it if you wanted to do the whole entire thing. Now that my noodles are filled up with the cheese and ricotta, add the leftover pasta sauce that you placed to the side. So as you can see, if you look on the side, the pasta sauce has been leaking a little bit. So I decided to add it to a baking sheet with foil under it, because once I added the pasta sauce to the bottom, it started leaking. So if you want to start off with the baking pan under it, that's fine as well. Now I'm going to take my cooked baby spinach. And again, some people in my family don't like spinach. So I'm going to add it to the ricotta side so that we get a variety and a mixture and that everybody can eat it. It's kind of like a little pizza. You can make your own. So once I'm finished adding my baby spinach to the side that I want, I'm going to take the ground beef and create a thin layer and spread it out so that it's even. You want this to be very even so that the cheese on top bakes, because that's what I didn't do. I added the sausages on top so the layer on top wasn't even, so only the sausages got brown, but you want your cheese to get brown and crispy at the top. So add all of your 1 pound ground beef, and you can make it fit by adding it to the side. Just press down on the top so that it creates an even layer. And then I took these sausages that I cooked and added them on top as well. And then after this, we're going to add our 8 ounces of mozzarella cheese. Okay, last but certainly not least, my favorite part is adding the cheese. So now we're going to take the 8 ounces of shredded mozzarella cheese and add this to the top. Make sure you get all around it so that you don't miss any, and you want each bite to be super cheesy. Once you added your cheese, we're going to take this pan, add it to a 400-degree oven, and cook for 20 to 25 minutes. As you can see, the sausages got brown, but the cheese really didn't. So if you don't add the sausages, that's okay because it creates an even layer. Now you want to pop the lock on your 9-inch springform pan and take the top off. Use mitts because it's super hot, and then it creates this nice outer layer. Look how delicious this looks. This was super easy to make, It took me about maybe 20 minutes to prepare all the items and then 20 to 25 minutes to cook. This is a family favorite in my house. Everyone loved it. This is a recipe that the kids can help you with. Like I said before, this is kind of like a create your own pizza. You can add any toppings you want and it's so delicious. I decided to prepare this with some garlic knots, so it's a real Italian dish. But please let me know what videos you would like to see from me, and please let me know if you decided to make this and how it was. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss any of my new videos.